Hello everybody and welcome to another Pottyboy Plays with me speaking all over it. And today I'm going to be playing the 32X version of Doom. This is a classic game, one of my all-time favourites, one of the best first-person shooters ever. This was of course originally released on the PC back in 1993, and it was so popular it was so popular to the fact it was ported to several other systems, including this one, the 32X. Now, of course, all the home consoles versions of Doom were released. They mainly ranged from quite good, they're mainly good from disappointing to pretty damn excellent. The best home port I played is probably the PlayStation one, which was actually the first version of Doom I played, and that was brilliant. I loved that. It was I remember renting it ages ago when I was about from Blockbuster. I was only about 9 years old at the time, but it was a fantastic game, and I loved every single minute of it. It was dark, it was scary. There was nothing like it at the time. It really was an amazing game. And anyway, so how does the 32X version do compared to the to all the other versions? It's not particularly the best version. I mean, obviously, it in terms of playability wise, it's Doom. It's fantastic. It's a great game. But overall, the port. I think this port overall is. I think this is one port. I mean, it still plays pretty well, but it really could have been better in most places. Graphically, it looks alright. It's not full screen, but it's a decent sized screen. It's a little low res, but overall, it's you can still see things quite clearly and whatnot. I think the only problem is that the 32X port is considered by many to be a very rushed port of the classic game, and you're probably thinking, well, it looks alright and stuff. Well, yeah, it does. It looks okay. Okay, but the reason why it's a bit rushed, it kind of looks a bit rushed, is because well, first of all, about quite a few of the levels from the original PC version are missing in this one. Which does spoil things a bit. Whether it was just lack of time, whether it was just a rush port, or whether there's lack of space on the cartridge or something, I don't know. But overall, there are levels missing from this version of the game, and but it's still got quite a few levels in there, and it's, like I said, it's Doom, it's classic. I think another downside is the sound. I mean, okay, it's pretty faithful to the original PC version, but the problem is that the sound was just left entirely to the Megadrive. I think the 32X did have its own enhanced sound chip built-in, but they decided not to use it and just use the plain old Megadrive's sound chip, which wasn't particularly fantastic. It was often very tinny, and it shows here. But I mean, the original, so the music's not technically that great, but pretty much all the sound effects are there, which is a good thing. I think really, aside from the sound and the level design, I don't know if it's just about I've not set it up for 6-button pads, but I don't think this game supports 6-button joypads, which I think it does let the game down a bit. It could really use it. At the moment, I'm just emulating the 3-button controller, whereby you got A's to open doors and things, to use objects and flick switches and things like that. B is fire your gun, and then C is strafe. So yeah, the controls in this game are, well, you could say they're a little bit on the limited side, but I don't. Like I said, I can't remember if this game does actually support 6-button pads. if it doesn't, then that would be a real serious letdown, because the other 3 buttons could be used for strafing and selecting your weapon. There's also there's one thing I noticed as well, is that there's no map on this version. Normally on other versions you press something like the select button and there'd be you get a map on the screen. I think I couldn't find it on this version. I don't think it's included. But saying that, this, it's classic Doom. It's still a lot of fun to play. It's still very dark, atmospheric, and scary and whatnot. And obviously to compare it with something like the PlayStation would be unfair, because obviously the PlayStation was a far superior console in terms of the hardware. And but yeah, this version of Doom, it's still very playable, runs very, very smoothly, but it's just got it does kind of feel as if more could be done with it. But overall, I still have a lot of fun in this game. I still have a lot of fun playing this game, no matter what version it is. I mean, but I'll tell you, one version I was really impressed with was the Game Boy Advance port. That was a really good conversion, considering the hardware. That was actually one game. That was actually one port I did buy quite a few years ago when I had my Game Boy Advance, because I loved Doom so much, and I was so impressed with the conversion. It was amazing. I was amazed at how much they managed to cram in. It was an incredible conversion. I'll have to, if I can get it working in an emulator, I'll have to show you some video footage of it. It's a really impressive conversion. But like I said, my favourite conversion port of the game is the PlayStation one, because that one had a completely different soundtrack, totally redone for the PlayStation, and that was actually considered to be, even to me, that's even better than the original PC version, and of course even this one as well. Because the music on that was proper CD audio, and it was really dark, it was scary, it was really moody, it was atmospheric. It set the mood for the game, and it was perfect. It's one of the very few games whereby whereby you get a version that has a completely different soundtrack to the original version, and it actually sounds superior. But Doom is a classic. It paved the way for first-person shooters, which are so numerous nowadays. The Call of Duties and whatnot. This is classic first-person shooter. If you haven't played this game, where the hell have you been? It's a game that it does look dated, but it still plays really, really well today. It's a lot of fun. It's very playable, and it was just absolutely awesome fun. This 32X version, it's definitely not one of the best conversions, but it's pretty good. It's still a very, very fun game. But like I said, it could be improved. It certainly does feel like it was a little bit on the rush. Was a little bit rushed. Now, of course, this probably wasn't one of the best-selling versions of Doom, because obviously the 32X was a commercial failure. But mind you, I was actually inspired to play this video after seeing Glenn83100's review of the Atari Jaguar version, and that looks really, really impressive. I was really quite impressed with that one. It ran full screen. It was very smooth. The only downside is obviously there was no music. But to quote the angry video game nerd, what he said about the game, he said just stick on some Slayer and you're all set. So having no music has its advantages. That's a really incredible port. I must get around to playing on Atari Jaguar. Obviously it's not meant to be the best games console ever, but it did have some pretty good games for it. Another version I played is the SNES version, which was a bit of which was pretty good for a SNES, but the lack of saving was a bit of a downer, and it did run really, really slow. It Anyway, I've just died, guys. So, I hope you enjoyed this game review. See you later. Bye for now.